Through all the difficulty, our speaker came away with a different perspective on life and how to stay healthy through the tides of time. Please welcome Skylar Garcia.
The greatest gift you can give this world is a fully alive self. The greatest gift that you can give this world is a fully alive self. As many of you know, my wife and I had a traumatic experience happen to us. Her father was in a skiing accident on Silver Mountain. He was going down at the bottom of Chair 4. He just lost control and he flew through the air. He broke his neck. This guy has been skiing for over 50 years. He's the head of ski patrol up at Silver Mountain, and he has taught hundreds of people how to ski and changed hundreds of lives in the process. My wife and I rushed over to Spokane, and he was in the hospital. He went under the knife for surgery, went through the surgery just fine, no complications. 3 days in ICU, and then he's been recovering ever since. He has made almost a full recovery. It just blows me away. There's certain times where he can't turn his neck all the way to the left or all the way to the right, but he's 66 years old and he's made a full recovery as best as it possibly can be. He is one of the healthiest, fittest guys I have ever seen. His degree of health is right up here. One of the crazy things that I got to experience while I was there in ICU, he was there for 3 whole days in ICU, and the nurse said maximum of 2 people can be in ICU. He had his own room, and that was great, and then people started pouring in. Just tons of people beating at the door, and the nurse could not keep them back. At any given time, there was no less than 10 people in his room. The nurse finally just threw her hands up and said, I give up. I give up. Have them come in. As long as you're doing okay, they can stay. Those whole 3 days, he had no less than 10 people. They would come in and spend a few hours with him. And then they'd leave. And then they'd come back the next day. They'd bring games and pizza. His Facebook account blew up. There were tons of messages there. His phone was so inundated with messages that you could hardly go through them all. There were prayer chains and prayer circles. People were calling him left and right. And I could not believe it. I just could not believe it. This guy right here has touched hundreds of lives. And now, at his worst possible time, they are paying him back. And then I had the worst feeling ever. The one that goes all the way down to your stomach. Because I realized, what if that was me? What if that was me with a broken neck? I'm 33 years old. And what if that was me with a broken neck? I wouldn't walk away from that. Maybe. And then I wouldn't have loads of people coming in to see how I'm doing. I would maybe have 10 people maximum. My mom, my dad, my wife, maybe a few of you. My friends, but 10 people maximum, maybe over those 3 days. And he had 10 people at any given time. The maximum number that was in there was 17 people in the room. It was standing room only. It was crazy. And I thought, what is this guy doing? What is he doing that I'm not doing? How has he lived such a great life? And I realized that health is one of the most important things that you can do in this world, that you can invest in. And you have to invest in it. When I was younger, I thought health was like a bank account. Okay, I've got $1,000 in the bank account, and I'm just going to keep drawing from that bank account, and there's going to be money in there. And then finally, you hit rock bottom, and there's no more money to withdraw from that account. You have to invest in it. You have to do that in order to be healthy. And I learned it's not just physical health. There are 3 kinds of health. First health is physical health. Second one, mental health. And the third one, spiritual health. And all 3 you have to invest in. Just like a great retirement account, if you invest enough in there, you could live off the interest for the rest of your life. And that's the goal. And I realized that in those 3 areas, my mental health was real strong, but my physical health and my spiritual health were incredibly lacking. And I needed to invest. And I needed to catch up because I had been withdrawing that account for so long that the balance was almost at 0. So now, I'm investing in those areas. Mental health, I read books, I play musical instruments, I am constantly engaging my creativity, so I'm not worried too much about mental health. But physical health, things like going out and going lap swimming in the morning, or going on a bike ride, challenging yourself to grow and become stronger, or spiritual health, being part of a community, or just being really great, upstanding people that everybody else can look towards. That's so important. So I've been reading my Bible. I have a notebook and I'm looking through there, trying to glean that, how to be a good person, how to walk through this world in a good way. I've also been trying to engage more in my physical health. So every day, I'm going to spend an hour in that department. I've been going biking, I've been hiking, I've been walking. I went lap swimming and I died. It was absolutely horrible. I tried to keep up with Jack, it just did not work. That guy beat me, it was awful. I went biking with Steve and I tried to keep up with him and I died. And it was awesome and I loved every moment of it. Those 3 areas are so important to invest in. So I want to challenge you guys. I want to challenge you. Put yourself in that perspective. You were 66, and you were my father-in-law, lying there on that hospital bed with a broken neck. How many people are going to come to see you? What are you going to be thinking at that time? Are you going to be healthy enough, spiritually, mentally, and physically, that you're going to be able to withstand whatever comes at you? Or is that going to take your balance to 0? And is that going to be the last thing that you do? Personally, I want to walk through this world and I want to be as healthy as I possibly can. Now, I'm not there yet. And I realize I'm not there yet. I still have a long ways to go. And everybody else in this room, you guys are all in different walks of life, in different places. Maybe you might be at the beginning. Maybe you might be in the middle somewhere. Or maybe you might be towards the end. But what have you done to invest in your health throughout those stages? And are you investing in your health right now? What could you be doing differently to really grow and to become a better person with health? That's so important to me right now. So I've been focused on that. And it's been driving my wife crazy. It really has. I'll say, honey, I have to go out for a bike ride. And there's family over. And family comes and stays for a couple of days. And I say, sorry, at 6 a.m. I got to go for a bike ride. And everybody's up and drinking coffee. And I go out for my bike ride because I want to invest in health. And that's so important. Or Patricia has a day off. And I'm waking up with her, and I'm getting my bike gear on, and let's go out for a ride. She goes, but there's coffee, and I just got up, and I haven't seen you for 3 days. I'm a nurse. Sorry, honey, I have to go out, and I have to exercise. So I've been spending an hour in each one of those areas. And I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but I'm focused on investing towards health. And I want to challenge you guys to focus and invest in your own health. Thank you so much.